tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this emergency podcast that I decided to do. I'm going to put this out before we do the regular shows during the week because I think it's so important to have this discussion. It's about Haiti. And when I was in Miami, I got to meet a guy who goes by Captain Haiti. He is, his name is Nandy Martin. Okay. And this guy's a very passionate Haitian, very passionate about his country. And I wanted to have a conversation with him about what is going down in Haiti, what happened with the assassination of their leader. And I think you're going to learn some pretty astounding stuff. That's not just the Clintons, but there's a lot more going on. It's not just CIA, it's not just the Clintons, but there's a lot of things at work. And, you know, this gentleman is working very hard to help his fellow Haitians. And he started something called a Cardano Haitian coin. Hold on one sec. Yeah, let me find it real quick. I have it right here. He started a Cardano Haiti coin, a little Haiti coin. If you go to keepithaitian.com, and I'll have the links in the description below, you will find out how you can help Haiti. It's a very enlightening podcast. Now, there are some audio issues. Obviously, it's Sam Tripoli, and we just can't have a show without something going on. And there are some audio issues. I hope you guys can get through it and listen. We're going to try to clean it up to the best of our abilities, but I think this is a very important podcast. So I'm not going to do all the normal pitches that we normally do at the beginning of every Tinfoil Hat show, other than telling you that I'm going to be in San Diego this Saturday. There's only like 20 tickets left for the Tinfoil Hat comedy show. It is a 420 show at the American Comedy Company. And then the following week, we are in Dallas. We're doing 2 shows at Hyenas in Dallas, an 8 o'clock show and a 10:30 show, stand up at the 8 o'clock show, and the Swarm Tank at 10:30. Grab your tickets. And the following day, we are in OKC to do the Tinfoil Hat comedy night. That again is a 420 show. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Grab all my tickets, all my podcasts, and anything you need at samtripoli.com. Please enjoy the show. I will talk to you soon. Take care.
Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people.
Let's get into it. So this is an emergency podcast. I decided to do this quickly because I feel like the story is moving very quickly. And you might know our guest who's joining me, kind enough to join me. It's been hard to get, settled down on a time to do this because I've been so slammed, but we finally made it happen. You might recognize him from my YouTube video or my Instagram story. He is creating a digital currency for Haiti. He is known as Captain Haiti. Please welcome. I'm very honored to talk to him again. Nandy Martin, how are you, Nandy?
Hey, I'm good. Yourself. Thanks for having me and reaching out and share the news of what's happening in this part of the world with your audience.
So for those who may not be familiar with you and what you're doing, can you tell them a little bit about your coin and what you're trying to do for your native country of Haiti?
Most people know me as Captain Haiti, right? And my superpower is the collective buying power of the population. Because my principle is stop sending money to Haiti. No charitable act, right? Trade with us. Because when the nation was great is when we used to trade with the rest of the world for coffee and for sugar, etc. That's why I harnessed everything and put it in the shield behind me, which is the shield of Captain Haiti. The middle represents the $20 billion of gold that we have right now in Haiti. The Here the silver, right here, we're rich in silver. We have the largest concentration of iridium compared to any part of the world, and we are rich in copper, plus $120 billion worth of oil, minimum 120 billion dollars worth of oil, plus gas, plus the people, the music, the food, and our resiliency.
Well, from what I'm gathering from you, real quick, everybody, just to let you know that like this is probably one of the few times that we're able to get together and do this interview, and you're going to hear some stuff in the background because this is where Nandy had to come to do this interview. So if you hear some stuff in the back, our apologies, but we're doing the best we can at this moment. So so it sounds like to me that Haiti has precious resources. And of course, the international banking cabal wants a piece of that to the point that they're willing to basically just destroy Haiti to control Haiti. Is that kind of what you think's going on right now?
Yeah, it's always been going on, right? It's been like that since we got our independence in 1804, right? One thing that people have to understand is Haiti represented 1/3 of France's GDP when we got our independence from them. We defeated the mightiest army in the world back in the time, right? And because of this, as an example, France had to sell the Louisiana to America. And Louisiana, it was just the middle, like represented 1/3 of the territory of America. That's just to show the impact that Haiti has had in the New World, like on the imperialist people. So now here's what it is. Haiti didn't stop there. Haiti helped Colombia, the Great Colombia, to get their independence as well. Simon Bolivar went to Haiti in 1815 and 1816 in order to find help and to fight the Spaniard and have their independence there. So we have Simon Bolivar with guns, with soldiers, with gold, with the print, with everything that was needed from him. We provided him the first time in 1815, and then he lost. He came back, and this time we said, you know what, we're going with you. And then that's why Great Colombia, that includes Venezuela, Ecuador, Panama, top of Brazil, Chile, top of Chile, etc. All the big, great empire of Great Colombia have their independence partly due to the investment that Haiti have made in Simon Bolivar and the freedom of the Colombian people.
So Haiti has had an effect on not just like Europe, but obviously America, North America, South America. Very, very strong people, very strong culture, and just a rich heritage. And can you go into a little bit of the heritage of Haiti so we understand exactly what type of people that the Haitians are? Maybe that most Americans don't know about Haiti. I mean, we understand Haiti from all these tragedies that the news want to tell us about, so that the American people beg for, our government to go in and quote unquote help the Haitian people. But I don't think they understand exactly what Haitians are and what beautiful history they have.
Yes, when you talk about heritage, you're talking about the ethnicity heritage. Or
what I'm talking about is like just why everybody what I'm basically trying to find out is like how strong the Haitian people are and how much stuff they've had to go through, right? Like the people and the culture and the music and the food and all that wonderful stuff that just, that colonialism has kind of come in and just, tried to destroy.
Okay, I will start by saying that most of the time when when I meet anybody, I ask them, where are you from? So I could know, okay, what part have we had to do with your history? For example, if somebody tells me, okay, you know what, I am from Israel, right? Well, in 1977, Haiti have played a critical part to vote for Israel to become a nation on November 29, 1947. I'm not talking about the implication of Israel in the world and the Zionism, etc. This is something on the side. It's just to show you the play that we could do as a small nation that was decisive in the history of the world. Okay, but even before that, when it comes to Israel, Haiti was responsible for saving about 300 Jews by issuing passports, visas to Austrian, Polish, German, Romanian, and Czech to escape Nazi persecution. Okay, that's just one part that Haiti has done in the world. Did you know that Ethiopia is the only nation in Africa that haven't been colonized? And this is thanks to Haiti. Let's take Ethiopia that is very mountainous, right? And Haiti that is very mountainous. And this is the name of Haiti. Haiti means mountainous land. Okay, so in 1896, Haiti financed the army of Ethiopia and sent soldiers to help defeat Italy in the Battle of Adwa. All the way back to where our ancestors come from. We participated to the war to preserve that part of the continent from being colonized and exploited. Okay, so Haiti, when it comes to our heritage, is mostly west coast of Africa, right? They say Guinea, right? And they say Guinea, which is Guinea, and that we travel here and we mixed up with many other I don't want to use the word tribe, okay? Many other African society that existed back then. But people have to understand in the history of slavery, okay, we were captured. And when you talk about captures, is when you go to war, okay, we were a nomad people, and we used to travel a lot. That's why they call a lot of people recognize us to be the true Israelites. When you go into our DNA as Haitian, they will tell you we are the tribe of Levi. Okay, so it goes very deep, deeper than I can explain to you guys now, but I will encourage you to look it up. You know, Haiti, Israelites, and the recognition of us being the tribe of Levi. So when you go back then, we were captured because we're nomad. Okay, you know, the Israelites, they had to travel, right? They didn't have any land. And they said that they will capture you and bring you to another land that you don't know of, etc. And as long as we don't know who we are, we will still be not only persecuted, but dominated by other nations,
Yes.
right? And other culture. That's why it's important for Haitian to know who we are and for the world to recognize what we have contributed to the history of the world. I'll give you an example more than France, Greece. Haiti sent 20 tons of coffee to Greece in 1822, right? To help them to get their independence when it was the Greek Revolution. Okay, just because we want, and back then, coffee was the most traded commodity, valuable commodity back in the time. Mexico, in 1816, Haiti repaired the ship of Mexican General Xavier Mina in Ilaera. It provided soldiers for Mexico's independence from Spain. Can you imagine that? That's what we have done when we got our independence, when we defeated Napoleon. Okay. We took all the riches that we had and we invested it in humanity in order for other nations of the world to be free. In our constitution, our first constitution, it is said that whatever the color you are, the nationality you are, as long as you land in Haiti, you are a free man or woman. That's the reality of Haiti that people don't talk about. And because of the propaganda of the media, they want to portray that nation of proud people, of human. When I say human, I refer to H-U-E, men. They want to refer to them as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, right? But when you look at Haiti and all the resources that we have and the land that used to represent 1/3 of France's GDP, you cannot say that Haiti is a poor nation. Maybe you have a poor mind, and that doesn't allow you to see the riches in all the human beings on this planet and to see and to be grateful for what we have done for the history of the world.
If a bank is robbed of all of its money, it's not a broke bank. It's a bank that's been robbed, right? So
Exactly.
that could be said about India on why there's such crippling poverty in India, because colonization has gone in and stole so much of their natural resources, has completely destroyed that a lot of their social economics in that country. And the same thing could be said for Haiti. Obviously, we all know of the history, recent history of what the Western countries or the international banking cabal has done to Haiti. Now, that's where we kind of want to get into this right now. I kind of want to have a discussion of what is going on with we'll get into the Clinton, the Bushes. So this giant earthquake happens. The world reacts. We want to help Haiti, right? And what happens is these dark arts people somewhat come in and they start to set up and they pilfer Haiti. Is that am I close on that to what
We
happened?
call them, you're right on it. We call them poverty pimps. Okay. So what they do when the earthquake happened, we lost so many people. It's crazy, right? So when the earthquake happened, they scammed the rest of the world by saying, hey, send money to Haiti. You want to sit down with the Secretary of State of the United States of America? Send money to Haiti. Now, who managed the money going to Haiti? Who's in charge? Because the Haitian government is so corrupt, right? So you have to go there as a colleague, right? And with your imperialism concept, and you're the one who's going to manage the money better than the corrupted government over there. How did that play out? Right? The world was sending money to Haiti, but not with the intent. The people that was sending money, the individuals, right? These people, they had the good intent, right, to help people, even without knowing the history of this great nation of Haiti. But the organizations of this world, they use Haiti to project it as poor people that are not that need your help. They cannot help themselves, and they were just using it to divert that money into their own program, bank account, etc. So that's what had happened recently with Haiti. Us, we're still trying to figure it out, right? But when you have $13 billion going in a country, I'm like, okay, take your $13 billion, but leave our image alone, because we have gold, we have iridium, we have oil. So you want to use Haiti as a cause, etc., to extort money from the rest of the world? Do so. But now it's about time that you rectify the wrong that you've done by staying quiet and stop intervening in our public affair, our governmental affair.
Yep, I would love that. Unfortunately, there's these psychopaths who just basically it's never enough. And not only did they, you see that happen all the time in the United States with charity events. People set up these charity events, and it turns out that actually probably about 5% of the money donated actually goes to the cause that they're trying to help, and the rest of it goes to administration fees, and it gets lost in everything else but actually helping the charity. And that's kind of what's happened with Haiti. You had the Clinton Global Initiative, which Jeffrey Epstein was going around trying to find favor from the court, stating that he was basically helped the Clintons found the Clinton Global Initiative. So you have people they go in, they set up these organizations to help, and in reality, they just basically kept all the money and created these awful contracts with the local governments to pilfer everything. They put all their friends in charge of everything out there.
Exactly. And it's not only on recent history, right? I've learned today from a lady that I don't know where she came from. She had so much information on what's going on, what's been going on in Haiti. And she mentioned the syphilis experiment, right? The syphilis experiment, Haitian didn't have any syphilis. But what the American government have done is to get to Haiti, right? And in complicity with the families that are oppressing the people over there. And these families, they're not, you would think, oh, they're Haitian families. No, these families are Syrian families, Lebanese families that have, some of them that we have graciously invited into our land, and now they turned against the people, and they are the one who are sponsoring the killing of our presidents, that are disrupting our government, that are pillaging our land. That's why they want to change the constitution of the country so they could get to the natural resources. But to get back to these people, in the syphilis experiment, one of them made $400 million just to experiment on the Haitian people over there.
Unbelievable.
And when you look at the news today, you see the same history repeating itself today.
100%. I mean, so much happened when, Hillary Clinton's brother was put in charge of gold mines of Haiti. He died recently. A lot of people who've been associated with stuff that happened in Haiti have come up dead because they're loose ties and what's going on. And a giant thing is human sex trafficking. You have Laura Silsby, who was sent by the Clinton, who worked for the Clinton Global Initiative, was captured trying to fly kids off the continent. Out of the country, and she wasn't just grabbing quote unquote orphans. She was literally grabbing children off the corners of the streets and trying to smuggle them out of the country. And she was not only arrested, but she was tried and found guilty of these charges. And it took Bill Clinton going in and pulling strings with the local government to get her out. Did she do any time in America? No, nope. She did not. Nope. She's actually working in Florida for the Amber Alert company that works out there. So scumbags stay scumbags, right? But this is what happened.
And it's to see, because the thing is, it's not about Haiti itself, it's about humanity. Okay, bad people will be bad people. They'll do bad things, right? And they will find the path of the least resistance in order to do their wrong. Now, when we're talking about American kids, right? And Florida. So the thing, when it comes to Haiti, I prefer to talk about Haiti without the victimization, right? Aura that people try to put around it. We are very resilient people. That's why the people over there, they're trying to figure out, hey, what happened to our president? And now everybody's calm, right? Because we have a rich history of president assassinated or leaders being kidnapped, etc. So we're poised. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen. But if you don't know all the riches that you possess, of course, this doesn't make sense. But if somebody goes out there and say, hey, Captain Haiti has like $200,000 in his wallet and he's going to be in the corner of that street in downtown Miami tomorrow, man, you're putting my life at risk, right? Well, it's the same with Haiti. They have totally depleted the government. The state is not working. You don't have church. The prime minister have been revoked. The new one that's been appointed didn't get sworn in when the president got killed. So then after that, you have the prime minister that was fired, that is acting as a president right now. No, he was acting as president, and comes to find out he was involved in the assassination plot. Okay, so now you have a totally failed state with all these riches that are available, and now you have you have a Colombian, I wouldn't say soldier, mercenaries getting in the country. That's the story they're selling. You have Colombian mercenaries getting in the country to kill our president, right? They were all paid, the information circulating, $600,000 each one. This assassination of our president cost. How much you think a president cost to kill a president of Haiti?
Oh my God. $300 million.
Okay, they went cheap.
That is how much it cost?
28 million, bro.
Oh my
for a country. Why would you invest $28 million to kill a president of a poor country, right? And at first, I don't know, you're probably, your audience probably know the book, Confession of an Economic Hitman.
Yes,
Okay,
100%.
man, it's like people around me, they're like, oh, this is happening, this is happening. Yeah, slow down, man. You know, he was involved because before you get elected, you get selected. He got involved, and then at one point he said, "Enough." Me, I wasn't. I stay away from politics, right? I'm just trying to do what I can do to elevate the quality of life of Haitians around the world in my capacity. That's all I try to do. Because if you want to help humanity, we start with the poorest that are around you, right? Well, I'm helping myself out. I'm helping us out. Then after that, what happens is you have other people coming to interfere with that. And this is
Did we
a bunch of humanity trying to help the people that have done so much for humanity.
Well, 100%. We see that happen so much on large scales, like the assassination of the Haitian president, on smaller scales, whether it's entertainers who have been pushed forward. It's like, you know, if you try to get off the, when the puppet thinks it's a real boy, that's when things start to get really crazy. And
Yeah.
there's a lot going on with the assassination, with Haiti and this president. I mean, there were three countries that refused to vaccinate their population, and all three of those leaders have been assassinated. They are no longer in charge. They've been taken out, and a new puppet will be installed. And I don't want to be disrespectful to this man and his family for their loss, but you're right. Selected, not elected. But what happens is, and we see this with pop culture icons, when they start to go off the reservation and start making decisions for themselves, they get taken out. I mean, we've seen that with drug lords. We've seen that with third world dictators. When they start thinking that I'm a real boy, right? They start to, that's when they get taken out. When you go off script and you start doing your own thing because you've been installed to allow the international banking cabal to run rough shop. What was the name of the one? Oh, I forget who it was. He was arrested. Latin America. He was arrested, thrown in jail. Where's the place? The canal. The canal.
Panama Canal.
Panama Canal. And the gentleman, I forgot who the guy was running the Panama. He was, and I know people are shouting right now at home.
Yeah. I forgot the name.
Dictator. Fidel Castro. No, was it Fidel Castro?
No. That's Cuba. That's Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba. Yeah, the strong man. Here we go. Manuel Noriega is a great example.
There you go. Yeah.
Manuel Noriega is a great example of someone installed to play the role and do the wishes of the international cabal. And when they decide to take over and do stuff for themselves, that's when they get taken out. Saddam Hussein, the exact same thing.
Exactly.
I mean, we can go on Libya, when they took out Muammar Gaddafi, the same thing, dude.
As soon as you go off script, right? Something unfortunate happens to you. They take you out, right? So the thing is, when it comes to Haiti and all these places, it's for us to figure out and to understand really in what world we live in, okay? And once you see it, then you get to do something about it. And it's asking yourself the right question. Not how can I send money to help Haiti, but how can I trade with Haiti? Because when you trade, you receive something in exchange, right? And you also getting the best out of somebody else. And when you trade with me, I'm getting the best of you, right? And you're getting the best of me. So neither one of us is feeling cheated by the transaction, right? So that's where I see we have to stop giving to Haiti, but mostly invest.
Yes, 100%. I completely agree with what you're
Can
saying.
have invested in the world.
So I want to, before we get into your coin, because we'll get into that next. I just want to say that there was also talk that this president was going to start to investigate the Clintons, or he had been investigating the Clintons to figure out what exactly they had done. And that seems to me to be the time that people get taken out, is when they try to come forward with information that could lead to arrest of these just dark arts people. And there was a talk that he was about to start trying to arrest people, and we'll never know at this point, because he is taken out. And now more and more we're starting to hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So more and more we're starting to also hear about who these assassins were. Yes, we're told that they are in fact from Colombia, but now it's coming out that they're CIA trained.
Yes. Here's one thing that is, I understand, in every culture you have a perception, right? That is coming from we don't talk about the Clintons at all in our culture and in Haitian. The Clintons are not our main issue. Our main issue is the Syrian and the Lebanese.
Really? Wow. You broke up real bad right there. Why can you start that again with the Syrian and Libyan?
Yeah. Okay. We have the Syrian and Libyan, okay, that are in Haiti, and they are multi-billionaires, right? These people are the one that makes $20 million per month in contract to provide electricity to the country. And on average, every month, you only have 10 days out of 30 days of electricity. So these people, the president wanted to stop that contract. He got taken out because he's messing, he's fucking with them with their money. And that's only one example, right? There's also they wanted the control of the port of Haiti. Just pay the government X amount of money, and then they are the one accumulating the revenue from the port. He refused to do that and said, "Hey, that's the only source of revenue that we can have in the country. Why would I give that to you?" And these are one of the top families in Haiti that are oppressing the people. Now, you also have sending money to Haiti. Sending money to Haiti represents 1/3 of Haiti's GDP. 1/3 of the Haiti's GDP is us, Haitians, sending money over there. Guess who have their hand over that industry? Again, these same families. So whenever you try to do something to benefit the poor of the country, they take you out or they disrupt your government. These people are even more dangerous to us than the Clinton were in the past. And these people are the ones responsible for most of the chaos of the country, and they're not even Haitian. They're not going on, walking around, right, and talking Creole with their accent, etc., and pretending to be Haitian. And for them, it's a joke. But they're just taking advantage of the people. And these are the real conversations that we have within the culture, because these people are the ones that doesn't want to see us prosperous nation. They don't care. Have you seen that? They don't care. They don't care about Haitians. But this is where they make their money. So now, when you have other powers that wants to get access to these resources, what do? They partner with these people that are in the country. And this is why you see that most of the population of Haiti, they're like, oh, okay, so that's what happened. That's the game we play. Instantly, we know who killed them. Why? Because he was starting to speak out, not against Clinton, but against these people. He was starting to put out all the exploitation and the fact that they don't want to stop these contracts, which the president was trying to do. And he was just put there by power just for the 5 years, because Haiti's constitution, you cannot serve 2 terms in a row as a president. So Martelly was there, that is part of the gang. So now they replaced Martelly. He found a guy, he put him there, said, you're going to be there for 5 years. And this guy said, you know what? Everything that I see, I didn't think it was that bad. I'm going to do something for the people. And that's why they took him out. It wasn't about the Clinton or anything like that. And now they are seizing the opportunity to move into Haiti, the shock doctrine.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Did not know that, dude. Did not know that. Wow. That's amazing.
It's
And
all about
the Libyans, and the Syrians, is that what you're talking about? Syria?
when I say Libyan and Syrians, these are Libyan and Syrian that immigrated in Haiti. Okay, there are families that are there for 4 or 5 generations, right? And these families, they use their network. Yo, we work hard. We work hard. Everybody works hard. Have you met a Haitian that doesn't work hard? It's a question of cost of opportunity, right? It's a question of network, of capital that allows you to establish wealth. And since they've been there, they keep the population in the state of poverty because this is how they make money. Poverty pimps. That's all they're doing to the people.
Wow.
Poverty pimps. It's not the Syrian government. It's not the Syrian government or the Lebanese government. It is people that we call the Syrians and the Lebanese and the light skin. We call them the bourgeoisie in Haiti. They are the one in partnership or in complicity with other nations that are taking advantage of the Haitian people and keeping them under oppression. We are occupied by these individuals. That's why he got killed. And by the way, he wasn't just killed, he was tortured. They pulled his eyes out. They cut up his feet, his hands. They made him pay. It was personal. They made this man suffer, and then they killed him. And then they put bullets into his body.
Wow.
It was atrocious. One of the most painful deaths that people have heard about. And you know what they did after that? They took the pictures of the corpse of the president, right? And they just scatter it around on WhatsApp. And everybody is sharing this within the culture, and that's the message. You know, in the Italian movie, they send you the head of a horse, right? Well, that's the head of the horse that they distribute to the whole population to say, hey, the next one that's coming here, if you think you're going to stop me, this is what's going to happen.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable, man. And what an insanely great, I mean, like, I'm thank you so much for coming on the show and tell me all this stuff. I can't believe it, man. I didn't know any of that. And I'm so happy you came on and talked about that. And so it's like a lot of it's an inside job, and a lot of people want to blame it on the Clintons, but it's these very powerful families that are from foreign families that live in Haiti that are pulling all this. I did not know that, man. I did not know that. And it's
it's common interest.
Wow.
These families, when it comes to the gold, right, the gold and the shield, right, and all the resources in Haiti, these families, they had a partnership with mining companies from Canada, right, United States and France. They called that recruitment Somini, right? And their exploration contract ended in the beginning of the year, in March of this year. So for 3 years, I've been telling people, listen, it's going to go berserk in Haiti very soon because these contracts are going to get terminated. And to exploit the soil of Haiti, you need to change the constitution because within the constitution of Haiti, an outside nation cannot exploit the soil of the country, the minerals of the country. Our forefather, they saw that the resources of the country have to stay for the people or exploited by the people. Here's one thing interesting about the Constitution. I know it's getting technical, but it's to have a better understanding. As a citizen, if you own a land and you have, let's say, $2 million worth of gold, or 6 feet under your feet, this gold is not yours. It is the country's gold. The only thing that you own is 6 feet deep of your land, right? Everything down under it is for the government. And within the Constitution, only the government can exploit this, and they cannot partner up with other nations. Look it up. So now what's happening? Now, that's why you have a failed state. no Senate, no judges, no prime minister, and now no president. So now you just come in and you change the constitution and you change the right of expropriation and you get access to these resources. That's the game that's getting played, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, dude. It's so tragic, man, that people can't live in peace.
Listen, man.
And it's just mind blowing, dude. It's just so
But
sad.
the good thing is, the lady that was explaining us the history of corruption, she told us, listen, my sons and daughters, there's no way you know defeat them. All you need is to organize yourself. That's why I got the little Haiti thing. The reason why I'm talking about it is because I know that the solution is crypto. The same way that the world is going decentralized, a decentralized governance, decentralized banking, DeFi, right? Decentralized finance is the only play that I see that can defeat these people. That's why when you send a little Haiti coin on the Cardano network to Haitians in Haiti, okay, what happens is you give them an open window to the rest of the world. But guess what? You as well, you receive a little Haiti coin. That means the more they use it to free themselves, the more they increase your wealth because you have one coin in your pocket as well. So that makes you have a skin in the game of the freedom of the Haitian people, the same way that we had skin in the game when it comes to the liberation of the world.
Yeah, man. Well, so let's get into that. So what is the name of your website so people can go and check it out?
Okay, it's CardanoBeach.com. Why Cardano Beach? Because exactly. Why Cardano Beach? Because of Bitcoin Beach. You see El Salvador having Bitcoin now as legal tender? That's because of Bitcoin Beach. Bitcoin Beach, what they have done is to create an ecosystem when people could trade using a cryptocurrency to buy food, to where you work, you get paid in crypto, etc. And as they were doing it, then they saw the advantage of having a currency that doesn't depreciate but gain in value. So now the El Salvador government, they're like, hey, listen, I guess we have no choice but to get part of this, right? Because they didn't have any currency anyway. If you ask any Haitian, they'll say, hey, our currency doesn't worth anything, right now, because inflation is killing us. In 2019 alone, in 2020 alone, inflation of our currency was 20% in 2020. Now, if you come the devaluation of our currency versus the American dollars, it was 25% in 2019. So now, if you have a compounding effect on a currency of a depreciation of 25% plus an inflation of 20%, and it doesn't stop. Plus, each time you send money to Haiti, these families, they take part of it. That's why I'm inviting the world to show the power of crypto, show the power of Cardano. What you do, we're going to bank Haitians in Haiti. You sponsor 3 Haitians. You know, sponsor that kid, send them some food, send them to school, etc. Okay, let's sponsor them this time. Let's sponsor them with something that is gaining value. Let's sponsor them with 1 little Haiti coin each. But guess what? We are sponsoring you as well. How are we doing that? You receive a little Haiti from yourself. So as we are using it in little Haiti, the value grows because we can prove adoption. And since there's no better option than this crypto, the value will grow. Just because the world may decide to sponsor Haitians over there so they could be banked and they could take their foot out of their necks over there. So the strategy is so simple, man. You sponsor 3 Haitians with 1 coin, you get 1 of return, and the job of these 3 Haitians is to increase the value of your coin.
Well, I love it. How much is a Haiti coin right now?
Okay, the Haiti coin, the only way that you can get it is by sponsoring the it's by sponsoring. It's $18.04. Okay, out of the $18.04, you have 4 coins that are being distributed: 3 in Haiti and 1 to you. And guess what we're doing? We're also paying someone $1 per wallet that you install in Haiti. So the 3 people that you have sent the crypto to, we're going to pay them $1 each time they put the crypto, the wallet in somebody else's phone. So, man, it's everybody recruiting everybody and everybody. And we give you, out of the $18.04, there's $3 that goes to somebody to install the coin in somebody else's phone. So your $18.04, why $18.04? That's the price of independence. Our independence, we got it in 1804. $18.04, you sponsor 3 people, you pay for 3 people, you get a coin in return, and watch the money grow, the value grow. Watch it grow. We are just repeating what have been done before. With the Bitcoin Beach, now we just love the Cardano blockchain so much, we decided to do on Cardano Beach and Haiti, not to go in a position with the families over there, with the Clintons over here, with Colombian and DR that trying to invade us, etc. Let's send them crypto and let the crypto gain value, and they'll figure out what to do with that value themselves.
Well,
that's it,
man.
That's why I'm talking about it.
Captain Haiti, you came, you saw, you dropped a whole lot of hammer today, and you enlightened me, man. I mean, maybe we live in a place where the Clintons are just the boogeyman. It's very easy to look at that and not really understand what's going on, and they don't want us to know everything going on. And so much of it is also an inside job, and I'm sure they all work together in some sort. So, Nandy Martin, man, aka Captain Haiti, I can't thank you enough for coming on my show. We had a couple of audio issues, but I hope people can listen to it and enjoy. And we'll have you definitely back when we have a better connection, and we'll do it proper. But I just really wanted to get this out so people could hear it, because I think people need to understand exactly what's going on and be aware of what dark forces are out there and what they're doing to our brothers and sisters around the world. And that team humanity has to wake up and help others and
yes, sir.
Push back.
Yes, sir. Imagine the value of a crypto that resolved the big problem that is Haiti. Imagine I'm giving you the opportunity to own that digital asset and resolve that problem. Now, the world that we have helped contributing to resolve our problems. I just have faith in us as human to exercise our power through crypto. That's it.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, dude. And I appreciate everybody who listened to this podcast. I know we had some audio issues, but I love you all very much. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tinfoil Hat in this bonus episode. We love you, and thank you for everything you do. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.